Y'all, what's up? What's going on, good people? Listen, I am back. This is episode 7 of Send to You podcast. Again, I'm always in a space of gratitude. I'm grateful that I get an opportunity to do this because God is so good. I'm able to express myself in a way that I can always express myself, but I'm just doing it on YouTube and I'm expressing it to y'all. So, y'all, I thought I was gonna be talking about one thing, right? And it's still in my notes, and it still will be an episode that I will be talking about. But today, we are going to talk about dating. Dating in LA. Yeah. All right, so we're gonna start off by saying, so I grew up very traditional, if you will. So obviously I had I have a mother and a father in the household, and my parents are still married. 37 years they've been married. And so growing up, I've always had a girlfriend. I was always in a relationship with a girl. However, I, was dibbling dabbling on the side with men as well. So I guess starting out, I guess you can say I was kind of DL, if you will. And I, over the years, just being more comfortable with my sexuality, I started to just, pick a side, if you will. And I think growing up, it was hard for me to express myself sexually in the way that I wanted to, because again, it just wasn't the norm, and it wasn't anything that people felt comfortable with or doing or accepted. And so especially being a black man, I had to hide that side of me. So I'll get deep into that later, but just to give you guys a little bit of background as with me. And so I think my very first relationship, I was living in Chicago, and I graduated from college, and I was back at home, and it was the very first relationship that I fell in love with a person. Now, I'm the kind of person where if I'm with you, I'm with it. If I'm committed to you and the relationship. And the first time I got cheated on was with this particular individual, this guy. He was in the music business and still is in the music business, and found out that he was cheating on me. And literally, y'all, I was driving. I knew something was off, and I was driving around, like literally following him, because something in my spirit told me something was off. And by following him, I found what I was looking for. And so that was the first time I've ever put myself in a situation where I'm acting out of character, because I fell in love with him, and I fell in love with who he was. I fell in love with his dreams and his goals and his aspirations. I fell in love with him and how he made me feel, and just the relationship that both of us had. And that was the first time I experienced being cheated on, and that was heartbreaking for me, because I would have never thought that would have been our interaction. So ever since that has happened to me, I again still was someone who only dated one person. Like when I'm dating just one person at a time. And then over time, people used to tell me like, hey Jamar, stop just dating one person, like date multiple people, like, don't just be dating just one person. But I'm like that, because I feel like when you date multiple people, that's too much. You got to think about like spending time with these people, gas, dates, spending money on dates, and it's a lot that comes with dating multiple people. So I just never really got into that until I got older. Then I just dated multiple people, or I was just not dating at all. So we're gonna fast forward to LA. I've been in LA for 10 years now. And I would probably say I had about 3 relationships. Two were relationships. One, I think that I thought that it was a relationship, and the other person did not think it was a relationship. But that goes based off of like us not communicating and kind of like solidifying what we're doing in this relationship. So we didn't do that. So I was thinking one thing and he was thinking another thing. And come to find out, like, he was messing around and doing some other stuff. And I was just like, and at that time I was like homeless. So like I was staying with him, but then living in my car, but then also living in like an actual trailer home. And when I found out that this particular individual in LA was cheating on me, I just slept in my car, because I'm like, I'd rather sleep in my car than allow someone to continue to keep disrespecting me if we're not on the same page. So I guess that wasn't really a relationship. I feel like that was probably a sexual situationship. And I think that I've done this in the past where I look at situations, and if I'm getting to know you and putting my time into you, I view it differently than somebody else. Somebody else can be looking at me like, oh, this is just a sexual situation. We're having fun, we're having a good time, we're enjoying each other, and that's it, without even having any conversation about what we're doing. But in my brain, I'm like, because I'm one person man, like if I'm dating one person, I'm dating one person. In my mind, I'm thinking totally different. And so that was one situation. My second situation was actual relationship. It was with this guy. It was with this guy that was, I'm not gonna say his name, but with this guy, we had been together. We knew each other from college, and back in college, it was just a sexual thing, and it kind of grew into a relationship. But then the relationship didn't work out, and then another guy that I was dating with here in LA, that situation didn't work out either. And yeah, and I think my last kind of dating situation was probably 3 years ago. I haven't seriously dated anyone in a while. And if I'm being honest, I don't think that I've really found someone that I actually really want to get to know, or them get to know me, because I think that sometimes with dating, people just have this idea in their mind of what they want it to look like, and then when it does not fit to their standards or what they saw for themselves, then people just change, right? People change and things change for them. And so for me, I've always been someone who just dated one person. I've always been intentional with dating. But in the community, especially the gay community, like dating people is like, I don't know, y'all. It's a little tough. Like it really is a little tough. And like I've met people and that are I would say just my friends, where like they just accept all of me. There is no sort of like them trying to change me, because I've had people that I've dated and getting to know, and they try to change who you are, or they try to change how you move through life. And you can't do that. And people try to change you to fit what works for them. And I'm just not someone you can do that with. Like my personality and my character is not like, oh, I can change Jamarin to be this. No, my personality, my character is like, I am who I am. Accept me for who I am. Love me for who I am, because I think that's what unconditional love means, right? You accepting someone for everything they bring to your life. And all you should be trying to do is add to their life, and help them be better, not change them or degrade them or say things about them or talk about them or call them names. And I just don't understand why people do that, and when dating and getting to know someone. And dating in LA has just, and I'm not even gonna say just LA, I'm just gonna say just in general, dating in general, it's just tough because you don't know people's intentions. You don't know if people are really truly trying to get to know you for you, or they want to change you and mold you to what makes sense for them, which is why now I take my time, right? I take my time. And it's weird too because like people do not approach me. Like when it comes to like someone taking me out on a date or asking me out, like no one approaches me. It's always me being the aggressor, if you will, in those situations, which I don't mind doing. But we all want to be pursued, whether you're man, woman, blue, green, orange, purple, right? Everyone wants to feel pursued by someone else that they also like too. So if I like you, yeah, I want you to pursue me, right? If you like me, right, I'm pretty sure you want me to pursue you as well. So I don't know. I really truly feel like God will bring the person that's supposed to be with me. I do feel that way. Which is why I don't try to rush things with people. I don't try to jump into a relationship because I feel like at a certain age, especially at 37, I'm not doing that. I'm not hopping into a relationship because I want to be in one. I want to be with someone who truly wants to be with me, but also too wants to take the time to get to know me. And I think now, especially in this day and age, people don't take the time to get to know people. It's all about what can you do for me? What can you provide for me in this moment, in this season of my life that I need from you? And then that's what I want. Some people do want to be with someone where they can be kind of like a glove to their life, and it's not us doing this together, because us doing this together would be harder for people to do versus you already have your lifestyle and you're molding the person that you like to kind of fit into your glove and your lifestyle. So it's one person is always sacrificing or making all the sacrifices for you, but you're not really doing it for them. So I honestly just chalk dating up to, I know when it's the right person. I feel it. I know that God will let me know, because that's the kind of God that He is. And again, what's for you and who is for you will not pass you by. And I even had to learn in dating or getting to know people that everything is not supposed to be a dating situation. Some things is just supposed to be, hey, I know you, you know me, let's be friends, or hey, we're both in the business together, let's just stay connected. I had a friend who, I'm not gonna say no names, or a name, but we had like an interaction. We had like one sexual interaction that it didn't lead to like penetration or anything, but it just, it was just very like, down to this point where like we're literally just friends now. And we've never talked about it, which I think is weird. Nothing has never been a thing. Nothing has never been a thing. And like, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm doing something wrong when it comes to dating. I don't know. It's I don't know. Dating for me now can be very uncomfortable, and it never was uncomfortable before. And I think it's uncomfortable now because you don't know people's intentions. You don't know their intentions. They perceive themselves to be one way right? And they have that in their mind, but it doesn't come across that way. Or I don't know, like even with dating, like communication, like communicating how you feel. And I'm guilty of this because I don't always communicate how I feel about things too, which is why I don't go into situations like, hey, like we're dating. I go into situations now like we're getting to know each other, and that's it. Because if we're getting to know each other, there's no certain level of expectation of like we're dating. It's more so like I want to get to know you as a person, you get to know me as a person, and then we see where this goes. And that's where I'm at. And I know that most people are not there because people either want to be in a relationship with someone, or you see other people in relationships, or you see Instagram or whatever, and you either want to mimic that or whatever. I ain't trying to mimic that. I don't care about anyone else in their own relationships on Instagram. Like I only care about like who is best for me. Who is best for me to you, and we build off of that, because I want a friendship with my spouse. I do not want to just be meeting someone and I like the way you look, you like the way I look, and that's the attraction that we have, but then we're also not working on us being friends, or what that friendship looks like. Can we be friends and still have a romantic relationship, right? And I think it's possible, right? I think it's possible. I think you can do it. I think we all can do it. We just have to set certain standards and boundaries for ourselves to say, you know what? I want to get to know you. You want to get to know me. Let's hang out. Let's do things. Let's do everything. Doesn't always have to cost money to do stuff. Sometimes it could just be like, let's go on a hike. Let's go on the Culver City stairs. Let's do a run. Let's go to the gym. Let's go to an arcade. Like I be having so many things in my mind that I want to do with someone, but I just don't think I found someone that I honestly want to do all these things with. And sometimes that's okay too. If you can't force those things to, you can't force yourself to want those things with someone if it's not being reciprocated on both ends, right? I like things to happen naturally. I like things to happen organically because I'm truly an organic individual. I'm not somebody where I'm just going to force stuff to happen because I want to, or I see someone I feel like, oh, they can do something for me, or I don't do that. And maybe that's my downfall. I don't know. But start looking at dating as, or looking at relationships, or looking at whatever as you getting to know someone, right? Because we should all want to be friends with our spouse, because the thing is, at least for me, even if it doesn't work out, at least there's a friendship there. At least we got an opportunity to get to know each other and love on each other and support each other and care about each other and uplift each other. But then we both realize, like, maybe dating or maybe being in a relationship is not what we need, or that it doesn't work for us, but having a friendship works for us. And I think that is the maturity level that comes with dating and meeting people, is realizing that, you know what, we're better off as friends, and that is okay. And I think I've been in that space recently where I'm just like, oh, we're just supposed to be friends. We're just supposed to be friends. But when you operate in a space for so long, of like when you meet someone, you think they're attractive, and vice versa to you, you just automatically assume like you guys are supposed to be dating, and that don't have to be the case, right? So be patient in the dating process. Get to know the individual. Understand how someone is. Don't judge people based off of how they operate or how they do things or how they think. And just allow people to be them, and give people the space to be able to be who they are, so that you can truly see the real version of them and accept them for them. So I'm out here single. Am I mingling? I would like to. Maybe it's LA. Maybe I need to start traveling more, going to other cities and states to see what other guys are out there, you know. I don't know, and kind of see where it takes me. Maybe my forever person is not here. I don't know. I'm a very optimistic person, so I'm open to whatever God has for me. And we just gonna see, y'all. But that's my dating life. That's my dating life right now. That's just how I feel about dating right now. That's my mental thought process on dating for me. I want to be friends with someone, and I think that because I've been here going on 10 years in August, that I've dated people and I've gotten to know people, and I know a little bit was definitely my fault of having a level of certain expectations of people or of the situation, because it probably should have been one thing, but I made it something totally different. So that's on me. But I want to be with someone, and it works, and it makes sense, and we're just laughing and having a good time and enjoying each other, and having small banter back and forth, and we're just loving on each other, and yeah. So y'all, thank y'all so much for tuning in to Center You Podcast. Okay, y'all. Y'all enjoy the rest of your week. I see you next week.